So this is the next warm-up room we're taking called Query Kit. Right. Well, it has to do with SQL. So my SQL is a relational database management system that uses structured query language to manage and manipulate data. It's an open source system widely used for web databases, right? So now the first thing, the machine, I've started up the machine already. If you are using your VM, once again, make sure you are connected to the VPN. Otherwise, if you are using the hacker box, you can just follow along. So which ports are open? We're performing an nmap scan, as we already know. So let me go for my instance. Let's make it for service scan so that we can determine both the service and the ports open at the same time to save us time, right? Usually SQL runs on the 3306 ports. Okay, so most of these ports numbers are defaulted, like they dedicate specific ports numbers to specific services. Like SSH is port 22, Telnet is 23, FTP is 21. It's more like a standard that's used. So usually specific services will run on specific ports. So as you can see here, SQL is running on 3306 and the service name is MySQL. So that answers the first two questions. Okay. Now the next question, what's the most privileged username that we can use to connect to MySQL? You can search for this, but the answer is root. Okay. Now it says which parameter is used to specify the host name in the command line to connect to MySQL running on the target machine. So now if I should type MySQL, so what that means is if I should type MySQL, right, what happens is that the MySQL client tries to connect to a database service running on my local. But if I want to connect to a database service running on another machine, then I have to specify the host name of that machine or the IP of that machine. And to do that, I have to use a specific tag name of a specific command, like the same way for nmap, you can use -sd, right? That's the same way that for the MySQL, you have to specify, so with -h, so that h, and then you bring the host name, okay, or the IP address, okay. So I can bring the IP address here. So what will happen is that MySQL will try to connect to the SQL database service running on this IP. So if I hit enter, you see it tries to connect, but it says access denied for user at this IP, right? Okay, so that makes sense, meaning that this works. Okay. So the answer is H-H. Okay. So now we remember we were asked about the privileged user and we were asked about how to connect like this. So now it's asking us how many databases. For us, or the MySQL server you are connecting to, for us to know the number of databases, we have to connect to it first. So we can connect to it, right? MySQL-H. Then we specify the user that is connecting, which is the most privileged user root. Okay, so that is it. So now we are connected. Okay, so now that we are connected, okay, if we want to show the databases, we can do this show databases, bring semicolon, and we have all these databases here. So these are like common SQL commands. So this is the database we have. So what did they say? How many databases are on it? That's simple. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 databases. Which command can we use to select a database? That's the use command. So I can say use detective inspector. That selects that database. So as you can see, database has been changed and we are using that database. We get it. So now I can show tables. If there's any, and you must always bring a semicolon at the end of your command. Okay, so we use the use command to select a database. Now what is the name of the table in the detective inspector database, which we just did? Okay, so the table, you use show tables. Okay, so the name is hacker list. So the name of the table in the detective inspector database is hacker list. or what's the nickname of the white hat hacker? So that's we can do by you selecting the table. Okay, select the table. Okay, that's not the right command. Okay, I was supposed to select the list. Good. So what this means is select every data from the hacker list table. So now we look for the white hat hacker. That's it, white hat. What's his nickname? Hackviser. And that is it. So that is it for this room. It's very simple. Just need to understand the basics of my SQL, certain common commands that are used. And you can interact with the database, which is a service running on the machine at the ports that we identified, 3206. So that is it for this plan. And I'll see you in the next video.